I do this thing sometimes where I'm watching something and then I'll interrupt it so that I can get my own commentary. I don't have any friends. I don't have anyone to talk to. I've been kept in isolation for years. I'm only recently even trying to go with visual media like this. So, I mean, nobody gets back to me. I'm not doing anything wrong, right? But I'm watching Michelle Malkin, who I've never heard speak before, but I've read some of the stuff she's written. I think she's a fantastic writer, even if I don't agree with her, even if sometimes I might actually very strongly disagree with her. I very, very much appreciate her writing, and I think that she's very important in what she does for society. And she's talking about, I guess she was banned from Twitter. I'm sorry, you were banned from Twitter. That sucks. I mean, I know what it's like to be banned from Twitter. Facebook, I know what that's like. I might actually be banned from life, and I'm just haunting somebody in some sort of ghost-tacular form. But she's talking about concepts of violence, and I just want to ask a question. I'm going here right now. Amber Geiger. Does anybody know who Amber Geiger is? Anybody? Raise your hand. Anybody? Amber Geiger was a Dallas police officer, female Dallas police officer, who allegedly went into the apartment of an African American man who worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers and shot him point blank and killed him. One of the stories that was circulated is that she thought she was walking into her own apartment, and when she found him there, she thought he was an intruder, and so she pulled her gun and shot him in defense. There were some allegations that someone had heard there outside of the department some sort of heightened voice discussion that indicated that she knew she wasn't going into her apartment, so that her story did not hold water. She was arrested. She got, from what I could tell, absolutely no support from any member of law enforcement in Dallas when it came to understanding that by the laws of Texas, judicial officers are entitled to hold alias gun licenses. And they're not the only ones. In the state of Texas, certain people are allowed to hold alias licenses. And in accordance with other laws, not just unique to Texas, other people can take your identity documents and they can use them. They have a big pastime in Texas of driving ladies around, of treating a woman like she's actually a vehicle and loaning her out for drives. Nobody ever discussed this, and certainly nobody from any union organization, nobody from any women's rights organization said anything about this. I believe that man actually engaged in acts of securities fraud, that he accessed mail she had, or some other manner in which he knew he was living in the same building as a lady cop. And I think he took her on a joyride, and I think she responded. I think that's literally what happened. I think he stole her identity and would try to drive her around, including when she was on duty, and she found out, and she shot him. And nobody's ever revealed that. What would you do? What if she was your wife? What if that was your wife and some guy stole her identity and started driving her around, especially if your wife had a security role or even a national security role, and some guy drove her around, was joyriding with her, and you found out, or she found out? What would you do? Where would she go? Who would she report it to? You report it to the SEC? Which SEC? The Senate Ethics Committee? I'm sorry, the Securities Exchange Commission? I'm sorry, the Securities and Exchange Commission? Who do you report it to? The police? Who do you report it to? NDI? Before or after his kickback got delivered and he got to be NDI? Or maybe when he was campaigning for Congress before he became NDI. Oh, wait a second. He probably needed securities brokers to hook up licenses that had been confiscated by other people, from other people, so that in case he had any very high-level national security matters he needed to attend to, he already had the accounts hooked up. He just needed to find the appropriate gamers and make sure that that lady cop they're driving around doesn't find out where he lives and isn't armed when she's able to open the door, right? And one of the ways you make sure of that is you make sure that she gets busted for taking him down. You call it a race-based crime, and not a goddamn one of her boys or girls, by the way, backs her up. Even as a police officer, if some man who's got a piece of paper gets a hold of your ID and drives you around, even when you're on the job as a police officer, not another one of those other guys is going to say a goddamn fucking thing, because they probably tried to do it too. Is that violence? Is it violence for a man to commandeer your vehicle completely illegally, drive your ass around, and then do what with it? Are you driving me now? Hmm? Hmm? Where are you at in the queue? Are you gonna crash it this time? Hmm? Because last time it was an F-15, you son of a bitch. And see, that's why I ended up getting my Facebook account canceled, remember?